Hello and welcome to the Day There Dudes. I'm Izzy, and welcome. We have a review of the Disney Plus Disney movie Cruella. It just came out on Friday on theaters as well as Disney Plus Premier Access. The movie is directed by Craig Gillespie and stars Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, Paul Walker Hauser, Joel Fry, John McCree, Mark Strong, Emily Beecham, we can go on, and a cast of hundreds. Okay, basically, was the movie worth the $29.99 price tag on Disney Plus? Well, I can say if you're a fan of Cruella de Vil, a fan of Emma Stone, and a fan of the whole mythos of the 101 Dalmatians, then yes, it definitely was. But you could have seen it in the theaters for, possibly cheaper, depending, but you have it at the comfort of your own home, so that's up to you. For the purpose of this review, it was worth it. That being said, let's get into it. Alright, Emma Stone plays Cruella, who in this iteration, she's British, and she's born approximately in the early to mid 60s, and when she's grown and she does all her, Cruella stuff, at least early on, as Emma Stone, it's the 70s. So the time frame and time period is pretty cool, and the soundtrack on this movie rocks. Okay, so definitely got that right. The look, the way she looks as she was grown up, and the fashion and the styling and everything is all pretty cool. And the fact that they actually explain her fear and her distaste and distrust of the Dalmatians is also explained and shown. And that's pretty cool. So at least you kind of get that. What I don't like, or I had an issue with, is the fact I guess it is her origin story, but they try so hard to make her a compelling character and a character that you feel bad for. Okay, not to get into spoilers onto what happens to make her that, but let's just say something tragic happened in her life, and then she's down on her luck, and then she finds her way back to the top, and that's basically the story. So if you erase the fact that it's Cruella de Vil, and you erase the fact about the Dalmatian, and you erase the fact about that she's supposed to be quote unquote evil and a villain and all this other stuff, and you just say it's Cindy DeVille, it would have been a good movie regardless. That, in a nutshell, is my issue with the film. The fact that you know already before what the character turns into, and how at times she's pretty bad, you're kind of it's a bit cringy for me. But taken for what it's worth, and just watching the movie, it's well done. Emma Stone is great in the role, and she pulls off a fairly decent British accent. I'm not an expert, but it sounded okay to me. Her two cohorts, Jasper and Horace, the comic relief, worked fine. They were good, You kind of felt bad for them when you had to, and you loved them when you had to, and they were funny when they had to be. Now, Emma Thompson as the Baroness was awesome. She chewed up scenery, and as the quote-unquote villain of this film, she was awesome. Probably the best part of the film, Mark Strong with a great performance as the valet, and that kicked ass. So, and the other supporting characters, like you have Kirby Howell-Baptiste as Anita, and John McCree as Artie, serviceable, cool, Every person needs a supporting cast, and they were more than, ready for the challenge. So all in all, the movie was good, but not great. Now let's get into a little deeper into the film without giving too many spoilers. Once the tragedy happens, Cruella's on her own, and she meets Jasper and Horace. Once she meets Jasper and Horace, who are petty thieves, she begins her quote-unquote life of crime. Then from then on, as they grow up, they have a long-lasting friendship, And at this point, Cruella is a designer. She wants to become a fashion designer. So all this is based upon she wants to become a fashion designer. All right. Does she succeeded? I don't know. You guys gotta watch the movie to really get the whole story of it. But like I mentioned before, the set pieces were cool. I love the way they explained the whole Dalmatian stuff. The Baroness was great. The soundtrack was great. The style and the whole vibe of the movie was pretty damn good. I just had the issue, as I mentioned before, with how you ignore the fact that Cruella, was a bad person, and in this, you feel bad. Okay. Besides that, all in all, I give this movie out of 5, 3 Dalmatians out of 5. That's the quickie review. I'm Izzy from the Dead Air Dudes. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this video and continue to follow us as we have a lot of cool stuff ready for you coming up in the upcoming days, weeks, and so on and so forth. Everybody take care of yourselves, stay safe, and as always, save the whales.